Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk about 3 decks that I've been currently using with the recent Children of the Worm update. These are just for casual quick play that I've had in the game. I'm going to start off this video like I've done with the others, and I thank you very much in advance for all the feedback I've had on my original 2 videos that I did on the Z-SWAT outfits and how to unlock them. I'm going to carry on the same thing what I did before for controller players. I don't generally play this game with controller. I did find it and play it originally on Game Pass. So the things that really help me is you want to have a nice high sensitivity in this game. Horizontal sensitivity at 50, vertical sensitivity at 25. Now, this might take a bit of getting used to, but trust me, if you can get used to quite a high sensitivity, it will improve your gameplay. And something else that helped me here is having aim assist magnetism on 100 and the aim assist friction on 0. Now, between that, you can balance what you like. But anyway, onto the decks. This is something that it's a tip that I think some people might overlook, and something being able to turn around quickly in this game really does help you. Now, these are called Nightmare. This is the first deck I'm going to talk about with the experimental stimulants. Now, these have got Nightmare in them. I'm currently working on it and I'm experimenting with it. So far from my testing, both of these decks, I'm going to show you at the beginning here, I've done the Act 1 Nightmare. With this recent update and me getting the DLC, it has made it quite a bit harder. So I'm gonna have to refine them a bit, but these are just for quick play with the new, basically the new cards that have been released with the updates. So if this might help you, please leave a like. I'm just going to go over it here. Now, Walker, we're using the experimental stimulants for this build, something that I just tried to work around because I don't really use Walker. Create a cloud that grants 15% damage and 25% reload speed. I've had this a lot more powerful, but then you're left with a problem that this takes away your heal slots. You cannot heal. You have to rely on, say, the bots or another player. Online players, thankfully, when I have used this, have been aware that I can't heal myself and have healed me. Obviously, your big healing back is going to be the med stations, the health kits that are lying around on the wall. But they're not too far, they're not too common on the map, so you generally have to rely on the quick toolkit to get into those areas, which I always buy and would recommend anyway. But somewhere around this, there's not too many health cards. The biggest way around this is to make it into a bit of a melee build, but you can't go solely melee. I don't think you can do, but I think to give a nice balance of both gun and basically health back for your time, this is what I've come up with. And so it's a bit of a melee build slash sort of heavy hitter build, whether you're using a shotgun or say the Uzi, the UMP 45, that sort of thing. So Brazen, melee stamina efficiency, melee attack speed, weak spot damage with the reckless strategy, killer instinct, disables aim down sights. That's possibly a card you could change out. But for the simple fact of just keeping it in with the no ADS build, I quite like that to work with Walker, so you can just point and click, you don't have to worry about aiming. Run like hell, goes without saying. I mean, that's a fantastic card. And the Meth Head as well is really probably what pieces this deck together. Very much, basically, the more you swing, the quicker your stamina gets, and it does stack up well over time. And you can also use your fists to start using this. So if you say, I don't use the combat knife in any of my builds, so if you use the punches to punch someone back, it starts one level of this, and obviously it can stack up to 10 times, as it says. Energy drink, again, you could probably change that. It's just a card I really like. It seems to have a good balance. It's probably the slow resistance I like the most on that, but anyway. But the experimental stimulants here, so it uses the main machine gun ammo. So that does take away, particularly with this build, that you being able to use the machine gun, but you'll often find, particularly in quick play, that a lot of people are using the machine gun anyway. So I prefer using, say, the shotguns, maybe even a sniper with this build you can kind of use with the hip fire. But ideally, something like the Uzi works really well. Particularly, I found an Uzi earlier with a 100-round mag. That was fantastic. That did perfect. Blue Uzi with a 100-round mag. For that reason, with the no ADS build, we need an accuracy card. I tried to do it without this. You could probably get away without it if you're a bit more close quarters. But for me, I really need the extra accuracy, so we've got that on here. The EMT Bag, just to help you so when you can heal up. amped up so you can get any health back you can. And again, this is going to be from the hordes, which works very well. It's a good chunk of health. And then this is basically where it comes into that the melee is going to act as your healing mechanism, really. You can't swing for a lot. You're going to have to sort of bounce very much between the melee and the shooting, but I found this very fun. It's a very good balance. You don't have to worry so much about health with this. If I could, I'd probably try and fit in down in front so your teammates aren't going to shoot you, but you're not a melee main with this build. This isn't Holly like my other deck. This is going to be literally you're just stepping in, clearing out a few ridden with your bat, and then you're pulling out the shotgun to help your team finish off the rest that are not around you and that sort of thing. That was the method with this. Well rested, fit as a fiddle. Again, these are these cards just to get your health back. So these two help bolster your health, and then Face Your Fears and Battle Lust help heal you with the melee build again. So that's something I found. I'm sure there's been better cards, but for the experimental stimulants, it is actually noticeably powerful. Particularly if, you know, Ogre turns up or a Breaker turns up, you pop this at least once or twice, maybe once before and once at the end, and just go ham into the into whatever you're shooting, and it does work very well. I say give it a try. I had a lot of fun with Quickplay with this build, and then the other one I've been using is this Mum and Dan Nightmare, which is who I'd recommend it for. The other Walker build you could probably use for anyone, to be honest. It's not specifically tied to Walker, and probably do better if you use Holly, but there's a lot better builds you could do with Holly. It's all up to you. This game is all up to you. You can do what you like. So the energy drink, again, run like hell, medical expert, and reckless strategy. Now, Dan's a bit of a wild card here. I'm treating him a bit like Mum, or a bit like a secondary doc, where he's going to help just support your team, particularly in quick play where you're playing with randoms. People might be all different skill ranges, and a character like him works well for someone like me, where I'm just going to quick play into it and just have fun helping anyone. You know, it doesn't really matter. So I've tried to make him a bit of a heavy hitter, but while also trying to make him a bit useful as a semi medic, I guess. So what we've got here is we've got the top three: medical expert, 50% revive speed when using medical accessory, also heals 1 trauma to the target. You could probably get rid of that, but because it does healing efficiency, I just slapped that in there. It's a great card for Doc, so I thought it would be a fantastic card for Dan. Reckless strategy just to help with the ridden clearing. Cold brew coffee, fantastic card. We do like using that if we can. EMT, 50% healing efficiency. Avenge the Fallen. When your team comes in cast phase, all teammates gain 30% damage and reload speed and unlimited ammo. Obviously, Dan's perk is he starts creating all sorts of different, what's he call it? I guess external card mechanics, I guess is a better way of putting it, or external mechanics that happen when your teammates go down. So just using anything that's going to happen that's going to help that situation, then I thought we'd slap that in there. Amped up, when a horde is triggered, your team gains 20 health. Again, great card. Patient Hunter. It stacks up to nearly 30% damage if you're aiming down sight. Again, just really good. Playing it a bit like the heavy hitter Jim sort of style here. Overprotective. I believe this is a new one. I haven't really had the proper try of this, but so far so good. I've had a really good time playing with this deck. As I say, this is just a quick play deck. This isn't the Nightmare. It's got Nightmare in the title again, but I'm just currently working on it, so I'd like to think it should be good, but I'll do a video which is going to take quite a while now. The Nightmare's gotten a lot harder, but I'm going to have to do some testing and make sure this is good before I want to say this is a Z-SWAT's build. But Crippling Frequency. I initially looked at this and I was like, what's the point? Reduce incoming damage by 2 from nearby teammates for 7 seconds. And to be honest, you can probably quite agree that what is the point? But I thought we'll use it. We'll try and make a deck around it and see how it is. And it's not too bad. I've definitely found when you're being like sort of the guardian, as in this case as you would be of Dan, of your team, you get a better idea that someone's going to get smashed by a crusher, grabbed, or they're going to get stuck by one of those spiker things that keep spitting at you, anything like that, and you can see it's going to happen. You can quickly press the G button, and it does seem to overall lower your team damage health. If anything, people almost don't take damage. I activated it when one of my teammates got hit by a crusher, and I didn't even see him take any damage. I don't know if that was lag. But it definitely seems to help. You just it's on you to be good timing with it, and it does seem you can spam it. Doesn't really seem there's a cooldown with it, and for the 7 seconds does give you enough time to sort of hit it just before your teammates get into a problem. So it's quite nice. I quite like that style. I think it suits Dan's play style a lot. And then at the end here, we just got some health cards, Phase Your Fear, Fit as a Fiddle, well rested, and ammo stash. Now, the other reason, the last deck I wanted to make this video really, and I didn't really know how to fit it in, and these other new cards have improved it. Now, I haven't got all the new cards. I know there's Experimental T5, I believe that people are talking about a lot. I have not unlocked that yet. But I will do a similar video when I do unlock that. But anyway, one deck that I found a lot of fun. I couldn't recommend this maybe for Nightmare. I could possibly get tweaked for Nightmare, but it doesn't suit my style. But this is generally, if I just want to have all-out fun in a quick play, this is the deck I use, because it's literally all the money cards in the game, and it's just enough of the core cards that I really enjoy. So Hazard Pay, Share the Wealth, Copper Scavenger, Lucky Pennies, Money Grubbers, Compound Interest, Bounty Hunter. I believe these are literally all the copper cards in the game. There might be one or two I'm missing, but the ones that interested me the most, but I believe they're all of them. And so something that gets me by a lot is just having unlimited secondary ammo, pistol, whatever you want to use. You can basically complete levels almost with that alone if you're not too bad yourself. So essential card for me, Face Your Fears again, 1 temporary health in close quarters combat, Run Like Hell, Energy Drink, again I said I really like that, but you could probably change it out. Reckless Strategy, so there is some weak spot damage. Cold Brew Coffee, Amped Up, an EMT Bag. I find this overall is what if I'm just want to chill out, this is what I'm picking. And overall it does seem to help my teams, and it's probably one of the top tier decks you can have, but you have to be quite reliant on, the game, you know what you're doing. And then of course what you do with this deck is you can then buy pretty much any card you come across in the game. All the cards that are scattered across the maps that you can see, and they usually cost 500 copper. You can pretty much buy any card you can with this deck and have a really good time, and obviously end up with a lot more cards than you otherwise would. So this is probably the one I'd recommend for most if you just want to have a good fun. The other two are, say, experimental with the new Children of the Worm update. I will have a look at Expired T5, but if this helped you, please leave a like, and thank you very much for watching.